I say this so often, but it's hard to imagine a gaming landscape without Inti Creates preserving old school experiences for new audiences. Azure Striker Gunvolt 3 keeps that train rolling. While the story still plunges into the depths of insanity at times, we're once again grounded by the addition of a new playable character, Kirin. Smartly, Kirin is the focus this time, as she's the core playable character, with Gunvolt serving as a swappable bonus of sorts. Playing as Kirin gives the game a completely different feel, since you can pretty much play the entire game with just her. Her hook is throwing Talisman, kind of how Gambit throws cards in X-Men, which latch onto enemies similar to Gunvolt's lock-on feature. Except this time, those talismans are softening up enemies for sword slashes, giving Kirin a 0 to Gunvolt's Mega Man X gameplay juxtaposition. The entire Battle Priestess angle works through and through, and her attacks have a lot of flair to them that make her feel different, not just compared to Gunvolt, but to prior characters in the series. It's also really intuitive. You gauge how much damage you're going to be doing to the enemies by marking them for death, and a little indicator comes up on their health bar showcasing the damage you'll deal if you hit them while talisman are attached. You can load up enemies while you're dodging around and then close the gap and slash away. It's a nimble, fun mechanic in practice. Then you add in a dash slash for locomotion, on top of more abilities for Kirin to continue to combo without touching the ground, and you've got a stew going. As previously mentioned, you can swap to Gunvolt, who is more like a timed cheat code. He has infinite jumps and extremely powerful attacks, mimicking his older style of firing a targeting gun at enemies, so that he can unleash homing lightning attacks that do all of the real damage. With this system, the idea is that Gunvolt spends a lot of time in wolf form, following Kirin around, but with the aid of a separate power meter, you can trigger a transformation and control Gunvolt directly, as long as you have the meter at 100% or above. From that point on, the clock is ticking, and dropping to 0 or manually swapping back will bring Kirin back into the fold. It's clever because you only have to use Gunvolt as much as you want. If desired, you could basically play as Kirin the entire time, but if you need a little pick-me-up, Gunvolt is a quick button press away. Making Kirin the focus is ideal, because fans who may want an air of familiarity can still get it. But Azure Striker Gunvolt 3 forges its own path with a new hero. I wouldn't mind seeing Inti Creates repeat this formula going forward. Much like the other Gunvolt entries, a score attack element is very much front and center. Kirin not touching the ground or not swapping to Gunvolt, it makes for better clear scores. I can't wait to see what the community has in store with Kirin, Gunvolt, and the Kirin/Gunvolt speedrun categories. From there, it's a traditional Gunvolt game with an intro level, 4 bosses that can be done in any order, a midpoint stage, more selectable bosses, then a finale. You'll acquire new abilities for Kirin along the way, mostly in the form of blade abilities and passives that adjust your stats or abilities, as well as power-ups of sorts that can call in friendlies like a Marvel vs. Capcom assist. As is the case with several other Inti Creates projects, you won't be too confused jumping right into the threequel, as things are explained very quickly via bits of expository dialogue and cutscenes. In other words, you won't be lost, but there are direct narrative continuations and references to past games that prior fans will enjoy. A full, serviceable English dub will make that all the more palatable for first-time audiences. Not everything lands story-wise, but it does have a very tight, cast-driven feel, as part of the narrative relies on converting people on the enemy side to your cause. Silly dialogue propels some of the less fun fights forward, though it can obfuscate a few boss encounters with all the HUD elements turned on. Sometimes the entire screen is full of insane text or effects, to the point of parody, but those effects do help set the series apart, especially the spoken word special moves that almost all have proper names. Azure Striker Gunvolt 3 is very reminiscent of past games as a baseline, but I'm more than okay with that because it does deviate where it counts. Inti Creates can keep making tight action platformers for an indefinite amount of time as far as I'm concerned. I'll keep parroting this until the cows come home, but give them Mighty No. 9. Keep giving them spin-off projects like Curse of the Moon. This studio has a chokehold on the genre. Thank you for watching today's review. If you liked it, please remember to like and subscribe to see the full written review. More game reviews and game news, head on over to Destructoid.com.